just when you think everything is going well for the Jets this offseason, that they've brought in the right coaches, they've brought in the right front office, they've signed the correct players, they've extended the correct players, the football gods come down from their high perch and say, nope, Jets can't have anything nice. Justin Fields, on the second day of training camp, ended up getting carted off the field and into the locker room with a foot injury. The initial reports that I heard and you heard on social media were not great. We heard lower leg. We heard that he limped off the field. We heard that they took his shoe off. They were looking at his foot and his ankle. My mind and the minds of a lot of us Jeff fans went straight to Achilles. We heard a non-contact type injury, all flashbacks from Aaron Rodgers to JJ to AVT. Luckily, it is just a foot injury. It's a dislocated toe on his right foot, which means he's going to be day-to-day moving forward. And it sounds incredibly painful to have a dislocated toe. It sounds like someone stepped on his foot. Can you imagine a defensive lineman or linebacker stepping on your foot during practice? It seems pretty painful. I don't know if this is going to be a 4-week or a 6-week type injury. I'm not a foot expert. Maybe go ask Rex Ryan. Maybe he would know. But we don't know what the beginning of the season is going to look like. It is quite possible that the next snap that Justin Fields takes under center for the Jets is week 1 against the Steelers. And you may think I'm overly negative here, that I am overly doom and gloom. I understand it's not a serious injury, and I understand he's not going to be out for the entire season. But this is a guy that we do not want to have any sort of hiccups in training camp. This is a guy that we are relying on to have some sort of season. Any sort of success out of the season is going to rely on his back. So he can't afford any time off. The idea that this team is cursed does not just come out of nowhere. Aaron Rodgers, Pennington for years, Sanchez getting hurt in the Snoopy Bowl. Remember that nonsense? Completely ended his career as a New York Jet. JJ's injury, AVT's injury, Breece Hall's ACL. It goes on and on and on and on. Luckily, this time it seems like we may have dodged a bullet here with this injury, in that it doesn't seem that serious. But I can tell you this. There is only one team in the NFL right now talking about next man up, talking about building up the backup quarterback, talking about the leadership that the backup quarterback has. And that is, of course, our New York Jets. I thought that this offseason, I don't expect every training camp to be perfect. I did not expect this training camp to be perfect. I knew that someone was going to get banged up. I didn't expect it to be the $20 million quarterback that we sunk all this money into. And I didn't expect it on the second day of training camp. Whoever stepped on his foot, something needs to happen to this person, whoever it was. The reporters couldn't quite see exactly what was going on. From what we're told, it was pretty far away from where they were standing, so they didn't quite see what happened. So yeah, the initial reports coming out seemed like it was a non-contact type injury, and that's what we were hearing at first. And whenever you hear non-contact injury and a guy that's running, your mind goes in some bad places. And I think my mind went in a bad place. I think a lot of us Jet fans our minds went to a bad place. And I'm not expecting, a big season from this team or even from Justin Fields. I just want a quiet offseason. I want a productive camp. I want a quiet camp. I don't want any distractions. Some distractions are man-made. Some distractions are your quarterback going to Egypt before camp and having a unexcused absence at the facility. Some distractions are not anybody's fault, like an injury like this, but it's still a distraction. This is the first test of Aaron Glenn. This is his first time of any sort of adversity in this job. They've done everything right. Like I said, they brought in the right front office guys. They got rid of a lot of guys that were in there that shouldn't have been there. They extended their all-pro cornerback in Sauce Gardner early. They extended their all-pro wide receiver in Garrett Wilson early. They are rehabbing JJ well. Brees Hall looks to be in shape. The team looks good. There hasn't been any adversity yet for Aaron Glenn, and this is the first time he's going to be dealing with it. I think he handled the podium well. I think he didn't have much to say other than that it was a foot injury and that he didn't know the extent of it at that point. We knew more was going to come out. We've had a few leaks come out of the building for the first time, this time positive leaks. We have Rich Cimini saying, his sources telling him that they're not worried about it. It's going to be day to day and he should be fine. But this is the first time Aaron Glenn has a problem in which he is going to have to show his leadership, and I think he did that well. But I just want a productive camp. Justin Fields is a player that we're going to be relying on not only this year, but likely next year. Because if he's able to, and this team is able to muster up 7 or 8 wins, we're not going to be in a position where we're drafting a quarterback. Justin Fields is going to be here next year. Likely. He's going to be the starting quarterback next year. I believe that. So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. You can say that he has the productivity, he has the relationship, and he's already productive with Garrett Wilson and the offense and Brees Hall and so on and so forth. But if he is sidelined for an extended period of time, and like I said, it's likely that his next snap will be week 1 versus the Steelers. Because even though they're saying day to day, a dislocated toe seems like a big deal to me, especially for a running quarterback, someone who's supposed to have that dual threat. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I wish I could sit here and tell you that this is not a big deal. There are going to be people out there telling you that, yes, this is a big deal. There are people telling you that, no, this is not a big deal. To me, if I'm a running quarterback and I have an issue with my toe, look, Deion Sanders retired from the NFL, not because his legs gave out, not because his hip gave out, but because he had a toe issue that he needed to have surgically fixed. That's what ended his career. Lower body injuries, especially in the feet, are problems, especially for NFL players. And I just hope that it's not that serious, and I hope that he can get on the field quickly, and I hope that he can be productive, and I hope that whatever time he misses does not turn into issues on the field during the season, doesn't turn into interceptions, mistakes, fumbles, you name it. And we can only hope. Let me know what you guys think of this injury. Is it a big deal or is it not?